Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 606. I'm Laura, also known as Lala. Someday it'll be 666.
Yeah, remember we said we would quit at 666. I remember having this conversation.
I do not, but that's amazing.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is the 12th of February, 2023. Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. And it hasn't been a week since we recorded last.
No, it's been like 5 days.
But I'm going out of town tomorrow, so this is sort of the last chance.
The last hurrah for the week.
So
what am I going to do without you for a week?
You're working, so you won't even notice.
I'll harass you.
That's okay. That's fine with me.
Via text. In your very important meetings.
Yeah, I'll pretend like it's something important.
Okay.
An answer.
Someone's calling me. I must leave now. Aw.
If you're calling me, it better be important.
Yeah, I know.
That's the rule.
I have to have broken my knee. Breaking up a fight. I think that's the last time, I mean, I've called you off and on since then, but that was, the last important call. Leslie, I need you to take me to the hospital.
Yeah, and I was there, damn it.
You were.
So this is generally a knitting show, but not always.
It's a multi-craftuals show.
Multi-craftual. Yes, that's true. Do you want to talk about what you're knitting?
Sure, I just got to the end of the round. I am about to start the ribbing on my sock. So I did get one whole repeat knit this week, and mostly at stoplights. And because if it just turns red, I pull out my sock and I get a whole round knit.
No.
Look, it's something that happens. And then waiting in line at Target and such.
Yeah, but if you're in a drive-through or something, that makes sense. I don't think stoplight is...
If it's already out.
It's not a choice I would have made.
So, first one is completely done. I have this much yarn left. I think I'm barely gonna squeak it out.
So this is Knit Spin Farm.
Yep.
The last of her little-known holidays.
Yep. And so, yeah. I've got that purple, another tanner stripe, blue, and orange. So, I'm gonna squeak it out. And that's being knit on size 1 needles, and it's hanging out in my holiday fat squirrel back, which I will probably switch out after this. But the kittens are so cute.
They're cute.
So that is the first thing on my needles. And then the second thing that I've been actively working on is my sweater. So I did not move the stitch marker right after we recorded, and I waited until I got over an inch knit from last week, and then I moved it to see if I could get an inch knit for this week. And I think I did. I haven't actually looked. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about an inch. So it's my weekender light out of another Crafty Girl on size 2 needles now, 2 or 3. I did the ribbing on size 1s. I think I'm up to 2s, maybe. I think it is 2s.
Yeah, it looks like a 2.
I think I said 3s in the past, and I think I lied. Oh, I have the... Hold on. Please wait. That doesn't have the sizes on it. You are worthless. Nope, it says 2s. So yeah. Yep.
I'm so impressed you have
The packaging?
the packaging for the needles.
That's how I store them.
Yeah.
So I store them in their packaging and then put them in more plastic because, as you do. So yeah. That is, I pull that like I'm going to work on it. So that's just going round and round and round. And I'm enjoying it. It's good. Watch Will Trent knitting, for sure. So yeah, it takes me around a little over an hour to get my inch. It takes me around 10 minutes around, I'm pretty sure. I've just been watching random stuff like the history of Nickelodeon documentary and knitting on it. Buffy has come over to say hi. Baby, you got fiber on your face.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. She's like, hey.
Yep.
Um,
So that's what I'm working on.
so I'm also working on the same colorway, but doing a different stitch. So mine is brioche, and this is the sport weight, but it's the same colorway,
Yep. Mine's the fingering weight.
and it's another Crafty Girl in the All My Friends colorway, and this is going to be an infinity like scarf cowl thing. So I did a provisional cast on. I actually did it with the crochet hook because typically I do a Judy's Magic cast on as a provisional cast on.
Yeah, but you're doing brioche and it's like a rib pattern
Essentially,
almost.
right.
So
And
that would be hard to do.
yeah, because Judy's Magic cast on works perfectly fine as a provisional if you're joining
Garter.
stockinette to stockinette.
Or garter to garter.
Or garter to garter. Yeah, the
Mhm.
same, yeah. But this is it's a brioche, and like Laura said, it's like a rib pattern, so you really need to use the crochet method.
The Judy's Magic cast on creates a row in between. That's why it doesn't, you would have a seam.
Yeah. And that's perfectly fine, but it's not what I want. I want it to be invisible join. So, yeah. So I just cast that on. I think I did like 30 stitches. I'm not using a pattern. I just am sort of making it up as I go because I couldn't really find what I wanted. I just really wanted to do brioche. Oh man, I just found an error.
It'll be alright. It took you that long to find it.
Yeah, but it's on the knit side, so I might drop down and fix it, but not right now. So
That is a long way to drop, my friend.
yeah, so I just found this. So
It's going to be all scrunched up around your neck.
yeah, but I think I'll drop down and fix it.
Okay.
But not right now. So yeah, this is what I'm knitting on. And I cast on a swatch, or I knit a swatch for a recalibrate, my second one. And this is using yarns from SSK last year in my ongoing quest to finish my SSK yarn. And this is that textured crepe.
It's a slub yarn?
Yes, Geektastic. I think this is like Son of Poseidon is the colorway name.
So you were just watching more to see how the colors interacted?
Well,
versus...
and to get like a rough idea of my gauge, because what I used last time was linen, and linen doesn't really stretch. Like, it'll drape, which is nice, but it's not going to give you any stretch. So I wanted to, I haven't yet, but I need to like soak the swatch and then like hang it to dry so that I'll get some idea of how the garter will stretch. Because you really need a good gauge swatch on Recalibrate. There are so many options for how you can adjust length and size and width, and it's great, but you do sort of need to have a good idea of what your gauge is in order to make those adjustments. So, so yeah, I haven't measured gauge or anything. I just knit the swatch to make sure I like the colors together. It'll primarily be these two colors with thin stripes of this brown with copper sparkle in it. So I like them together.
I think it'll be good to not only wash your swatch to see how that fiber reacts to the water, but also to see if there's any bleeding that's going to happen. Because those are vastly different colors and they're all by different dyers.
Yeah.
So the Son of Poseidon's by Geektastic, the middle one's by Urban Girl, and the bottom one is by Plies and House. Look at me. I paid attention last week, y'all.
Yeah.
I should get a cookie.
You should get a cookie. If only I had a cookie to give you.
I heard Crumble delivers.
So yeah, I'm not going to take this with me to Vegas because it's 3 large skeins and I just don't really have space for it. I'm only going to bring a carry-on, and because I just don't want to risk not having my luggage lost. Having seen Laura go through that before, I just really don't want to have to go to a work event without clothes that I know fit me.
Plus, most of your wardrobe now is handmade,
Yeah.
so that adds a factor, I feel like.
So, yeah. Woo!
Because when I lost my luggage, I had to show receipts for everything, and that's so much harder to do with a handmade wardrobe.
But I did crank at Laura's house. I cranked a couple. I had 4 skeins of self-striping that I didn't show last week that were from SSK. So I cranked 2 of them at Laura's house. Both of them are Geektastic. This one is the None for Gretchen Wieners colorway, which is a Mean Girls reference. And this one is the Sally colorway, which is a Nightmare Before Christmas reference. This one is the 90% Targi, 10% nylon, and it's very dense, so I probably won't crank that base again.
Unless we fiddle with the tension a whole bunch.
Yeah, so probably not, honestly. But this one is the typical 75-25, and that cranks perfectly fine. Targi is more, like...
robust.
Voluptuous, like, yeah. So, yeah, it's fine, but it's very dense, so I won't crank it again. So yeah, I'm going to take these tubes with me to Vegas, as well as the yarn that goes with them, and
It's good plain knitting.
brioche scarf, and then 1 skein of fingering weight for socks. If I finish this and I finish the brioche scarf, unlikely that all that's going to happen, but if I do, I'll have that skein of fingering weight.
Just in case.
Just in case. I feel like that's plenty. So, yeah, that's basically it. That's what I've been working on. The fingering weight that I'm taking is... Oh, that's not it. I don't remember where
That's pretty, though.
Yeah,
that's Woolens and Nosh. Prismatic, maybe?
Spectrum. The other one I'm taking is a Woolens and Nosh, and it's Roy G. Bivish.
Yes. And for those of you who have been liking my Advent socks, she did do a colorway based on that called Stained Glass that's up in her shop right now. Just so pretty.
So that's
and Leslie wants to get it at SSK this year, I think.
Yeah, I like it. It's very similar. It's based off of the Advent kit, but it's not a bunch of individual skeins. It's all one, which is great. Well,
mine's not individual.
Yours isn't either. Yeah, it's just thicker stripes. Never mind. Neither Laura or I have finished things this. Well, I do have a finished thing.
Okay.
But I don't think I brought it with me.
What is it?
Downstairs. I finished putting heels and toes in those.
Oh yeah. The
like
other
birch socks. So I'll show those next time. So they're downstairs somewhere. But we don't have any finished objects. I do have some
watercolor.
This is from last week, actually. I forgot to show it. I don't love either of these, but I learned things. So this one is like a waterfall painting, and I learned about doing like dry brush water kind of techniques, so it's sort of a misty look. And then this one is
I like that one.
Sort of a rocky beach, and
that gives me Acadia vibes.
I like the splashing, but I didn't like it. If you spend enough time looking at it, it doesn't make sense how things are splashing. So perspective, that's sort of the thing I was talking about. But yeah, I learned stuff, so that's good.
Yay.
You got some spinning. Did you finish plying that giant?
No, I finished plying half of it. So what Leslie's talking about is the Hello Yarn Cordale, the 12.5 ounces. I finished plying 6.7 ounces. And then I stopped and I wound it off on my new electric skein winder from Daedalus, which I'm enjoying immensely. You'll be able to tell because I plied and wound off a bunch of stuff this week.
And that's called a Whirly
Gig.
Whirly Gig.
Yep.
Okay.
So I plied half of it and looked at yardage, and it's 600, well, a little over half of it, and it's 600 yards. So I'm not going to have enough to do the crossways crop. I will have enough to do the James Watts, it's like beads or pearls or something like that, if I don't add length, but I think I want to add length to it, so it's going to be a sweater of some kind. It might end up being another recalibrate, but with a different color panel, a different purple, but I haven't decided yet. And then, and it's only half plied, but I'm super happy with, excuse me, the half that I do have plied. And then, I finished some other stuff. So I finished the like little bits and bobs, the fiber morsels from Wolfiend. There's that bright yellow on the end. Like the rest is like all kind of like do, 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 and then it's like bright yellow. So it's 234 yards of a 2-ply. It's just randomly pulled bits and bobs. So it's around a worsted weight. DK worsted. It is very squishy. And then, and it was all various types of wool. Like, I can tell there's, like, a bamboo or silk in there, or maybe a sea salt, some kind of viscose or silk. So, lots of different stuff. And then, I don't think you all have seen this at all. So, at SSK, I was gifted a wheel, a Louette, from a friend. She is destashing her herd a little bit, downsizing a little bit. And so she's getting rid of her Louette, and she offered it to me. And so that night she gave it to me, my mom had brought a whole bunch of stash that she was getting rid of. So I grabbed some superwash merino out of her stash, and I spun a little bit on a bobbin. And then when my mom returned the Louette to me, because I didn't have room in my car for it, coming home from SSK, because Pearl had to sit somewhere, I spun the other bobbin like last month, and I've plaited it. So it's 160 yards. It's not quite 4 ounces of a superwash merino. And yeah, it was the first spin on the Louette. So it's nice. The Louette does bulky really well because it's an Irish tension wheel. So it's nice and squishy. It'll be great kids' hats for...
It looks a little bit like Into the World's TheKnitGirll's
Unmentionables.
Yeah.
It isn't though. It's
got more yellow than that has, but
yeah, it was from the Loopy U. Like I can picture the like multicolor sheep on the label. It was dye something, but they're way gone out of business, and I can't remember their actual.
Was it like that
name.
long skinny bag of wool?
Okay. It was like a fractal pack almost.
Okay.
Or they used to do that. I don't know that this one was, but they used to sell like 2 ounces of one colorway of superwash merino and then 2 ounces of another. So it would be like an Alice in Wonderland theme, and there would be like the Cheshire Cat would be 2 ounces, like a bright pink, and then Alice, like a blue and white, would be the other. Yeah. So not quite fractal packs, not fractal packs, but coordinating 2 ounces. I don't know. So that is that, and that'll be great kids hats. And then I put the wrong tag on here. I have made a tag for my Cordale, and the hip strings tag was right there, and I tagged the wrong one on because I wasn't paying attention. But this is the hip strings, a walk in the heather. So it's 75% merino, 12.5% flex, 12.5% tussah silk. This is the one that I spun from the folds. And I think it was around 300 yards. But
it's very pretty.
Yeah, spinning from the fold definitely made the flax less dense. Like the skein does not feel dense to me.
No.
It definitely added a good bit of air.
Yeah, it definitely.
And flax is a super heavy fiber.
It doesn't have the bounce back of 100% wool, but it definitely has some bounce back where all flax wouldn't.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to play more. Now that I've done this more successfully, my flex blends in the past have come out super dense.
It's very soft too.
Yeah, now that this is more successful of an endeavor for me, I will be spinning more flex blends, I think, in the future. And maybe I'll pick up a sweater's quantity of hip strings at SSK in one of her flex blends. Because I really did enjoy this, and it was super well prepped. So yeah, it was fun. So those are my spinning ventures. I have a new sweater spin on the Daedalus Starling right now. So I am around 2 ounces into a pound spin. Leslie, when she was working on the sock machine and kept dropping stitches and cussing, because our sock machine is curmudgeon-y. Yeah.
Neither of us are willing to do that.
We're gonna wait till Jude visits.
Yep, that's his job.
And so I was spinning a little bit during that time. So I have a whole pound, but two different colors, and I'm dividing it up into little like fiber morsels, and I'm gonna do a 2-ply, and hopefully get enough for that sideways, crossways crop. With that, we will see, because that is I only had 12.5 ounces of the Cordale, and what I'm spinning now is Polworth, so it's a lighter fiber. So hopefully that will get me the yardage that I need. We will see. But you did some spinning too.
I did. I finished some spinning that I've been sort of picking away at for a couple months now. It was the Knit Spin Farm, her Advent for 2022. So the way that I spun it was, it comes in 25 little like 1/4 ounce batlets, and I spun each one individually, and then just kept spinning singles on top of it with a different leader every time, and then wound it off onto a bracelet plying tool, an Indian plying tool, and then 2-ply the ends of each together. So it's individual colors plied together. So this is what I ended up with. It's about
so pretty,
650-ish yards.
Great shawl.
I put a lot more twist in the ply than I did in the single, just because I liked the way it looked when I added a lot more twist in the ply. So there are a couple of sections, well, there's several sections where there's like little twisty bits, but they'll even out when I knit them.
Yep.
So I'm thinking I might combine this with some other Knit Spin Farm that I've spun and do a portage. Our friend Kelly, who, one of the 2 Kellys that used to work at House of Yarn, not Kelly Riley, the other one, whose last name I forget. She did a portage out of several different kinds of wools, and I've just loved it forever. It's in my favorites on Ravelry because I've just always admired it since we saw it several years ago. So I might do something similar, but I don't know that this is the right weight, so I'll have to.
Yeah, I think it calls for a sport,
Yeah,
or DK.
or DK. So
you'd have to hold it together probably.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not like married to the idea, so, but I like it. I think it came out nice. It does have some like sections of like that slubby sari silk.
Yeah.
Which I will just pick out as I go, because I don't care for the slubby sari silk.
This is the person who's about to knit a whole slubby yarn.
Well, that's...
Yeah.
I don't mind. That, it doesn't come off. Like, it's intentionally part of the structure. Look, that's my line. Don't mess with my line.
That's fun.
What have you been reading?
Just same old, same old. I've been rereading the Hidden Legacy series. There's a new Kate Daniels novella coming out in June that I'm super excited about. And I've been watching Will Trent. I started Poker Face, but I knew something was going to happen right from the get-go, and I was like, so I only got like 5 minutes.
I don't know what Poker Face is.
It's a new TV. It's another like crime type. It's giving me a little bit of Dexter vibes.
Oh.
So you might like it, just the way it's shot. But basically, one of the main characters can tell when someone's lying to her.
Oh.
And so when one of her friends is murdered, she is trying to figure out what happens.
Okay.
But I didn't get super far in. I've been watching a lot of hockey, and tonight I will watch the Super Bowl. And hopefully, hey, Gus!
Come here.
He was letting me pet him a ton earlier. You gonna jump over? Good job.
You gonna come out from under the chair? I'll show him
No.
to you if he comes out.
He's very busy.
As far as reading, I restarted the Monstrous series by Lily Mayne. It's a post-apocalyptic male-male romance. Not appropriate for children. Oh, hey, buddy.
Yes, cat time.
Did
Did he go back under?
He's under and he's waiting for me to belly scratch him. But I would have to get on the ground in order for that to happen.
There you go. Look. Yes.
I forgot-
Oh, Leslie's too slow, Gus.
And I have short arms, so.
Yeah, I see you.
There we go.
I got you.
Oof. God, you're such a chunk.
Stop cat shaming.
So this is Gus. He likes to decide when he needs attention by jumping in my lap while I'm trying to work. Which is...
That was Carly whining because the cat's in here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Gussie. Want to go see your Laura?
Yes. Come here. Come here, boy. Oh, hi. Such a good pup. I said pup. Such a good kitten.
I am still listening to You Just Need to Lose Weight by Aubrey Gordon and the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas.
How can you get down? You're trapped.
Oh. Hi, buddy. This is the little guy who was like 4 pounds when Laura brought him to me, and he's got to have put on at least 7 or 8 since then, because he's such a fat boy now. And he also takes no crap from Carly. In fact, willingly starts stuff with Carly.
Oh, you're purring.
Mm-hmm.
What a good boy.
And shutting.
Yeah. Hi.
He's like, hey.
Such a good boy.
It's all lies. He's not.
No, he's not. He's got a great, like, jerk cat face, too.
Yeah. And he has no remorse.
As it should be. As it should be. Where are you going?
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Anyway, so Leslie's been watching stuff.
What have I been watching? We watched. We're almost done with the
Great
pottery,
British Pottery Throwdown.
which is like finished last year sometime.
We got behind.
And I've been watching
Gus.
Dope Sick on Hulu, which is about the opioid epidemic and all the stuff that the Sackler brothers did to.
Oh, are you
did
helping
and
Ned?
didn't do to prevent it. Uh-oh, watch out for that yarn.
I know, that's what he's helping Ned.
That's basically it. It looks like he got into something.
Yeah, I know, I just saw that.
I wonder what that is. Maybe lading something in the garage. I don't think I've really been watching anything else.
So SSK Zooms, we'll have one this Thursday, and then Monday during the day at noon for SSK folks. Not this coming Monday, but President's Day Monday. I think that's the 20th, maybe. So that people who are in different time zones can join.
Oh, are you doing one that day too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm doing one that day, that Monday of President's Day at noon. All the information is in the Discord. I would like it if you were helping a little bit less, Gus.
You can't see him, but he's, as Laura's pulling the yarn out, he's like, oh, yarn.
And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
We got distracted by the cat. Sorry.
I mean, I feel like everyone who watches this show would understand that. Hopefully I'll have some stuff to show next week.
Yeah.
About travel time for crafting and
No Carly time.
I'm not sad about that. She's a great dog. I love her, but having to clean off her dirty paws several times a day after she will just sit on the sofa and stare at me to take her outside and throw the ball. I mean, it's better than Pearl, who will bark in your face when she wants something.
Yeah.
She doesn't do that, but she will just look at you like a little piece of my soul is dying every minute that you aren't throwing that ball for me. So, yeah, hope you guys have an awesome week.
Yes.
And we will talk to you next week. And if you're going to SSK, you should join the Zooms and hang out with Laura.
Yep.
And all the
Super
other
fun.
folks. So,
super fun.
have a good week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.